I'm coming to you today with some breaking news. We have officially our first price change of 2024. It's been quite a while since we've had a price change from Tesla, which is a nice change of pace. However, that ends today, and we do have a price change, but we've also got some other things happening at Tesla. Some of this is actually pretty good stuff. We also have the return of a couple of programs from Tesla, including the transfer of full self-driving and the transfer of unlimited free supercharging. And on top of that, I want to take a deep dive into inventory levels because that's going to be a helpful indicator on what is happening and what we should expect moving forward. So as you can tell, there's a ton to unpack in today's video. So make sure you stick around to the end. We'll go into all of this in detail and give you the best information that we possibly can and on what to expect next. So let's head over here to Tesla's website where we can start looking at price changes. The good news is the Model Y, no impact, S, no impact, X, no impact. However, our brand new refresh Model 3 that just came out does have a price change. And this time it is the long range Model 3. This is going to get a $1,000 increase and now starts at $46,990. Crazy thing is, this now means that the long range Model 3 is more expensive than the long range Model Y under a couple of different situations, which I'll go to those details here shortly, but it's no surprise there's a lot of demand for the refresh Model 3. However, it does not qualify for the tax credit. So this demand, we'll see how long this lasts unless Tesla is actively working to make changes to the battery to bring it back to qualification for that $7,500 tax credit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Since October of last year, we have had steady prices on the Model Y, and that has also been the case for the Model 3. And now we have our first price change, an increase of $1,000 on the long range Model 3 as we just discussed. But when we look at this, we can see the Model 3 does not qualify for the tax credit. And until we get this new performance Model 3 or plaid Model 3, whatever it ends up being, we don't have any data there. So we'll leave that alone for now. But looking at the rear wheel drive Model 3, $38,990 versus $43,990 for the Model Y. But because of that $7,500 tax credit, it's actually $2,500 less to get a Model Y than it is to get the Model 3. Now, keep in mind, Model 3 is refreshed, Model Y is not, but that's quite a bit more car for $2,500. Now, you get a little bit less range, so keep that in mind. But interesting nonetheless. Over on the long range all-wheel drive side though, things really start to escalate. $5,500 difference between the long range Model 3 and the long range Model Y. It's $5,500 less to get a Model Y, and this is at point of purchase because as long as you qualify for the income caps, you will absolutely get this. If you transfer the credit to the dealer or Tesla in this case, you will get that at time of purchase. So it will be $5,500 less. Now looking at the inventory that's available at Tesla, I was able to find this rear-wheel drive Model Y for $48,880, meaning it is actually $5,600 cheaper than a base model rear-wheel drive Model 3. And this one has red paint, and it looks like it also has the white interior as well. So a couple $1,000s in options on that also. Now on the long range all-wheel drive, this one at $45,560 means it's $8,900 cheaper than ordering a Model 3 long range all-wheel drive. But going back over here, I want to look at one more thing. So the rear-wheel drive Model 3 is already pushed out February to March, so they're still calling the end of this quarter to take delivery if you order a rear-wheel drive Model 3, but the long range Model 3 is now up to March and April. So no surprise that one got an increase and the other did not. As we can see, lead times are definitely extending already for the Model 3. So long range all-wheel drive Model 3, it looks like you're going to be waiting a while to get that car. There's also one more thing I want to talk about over here with prices, and that's a text I just received at 7:30 p.m. And Tesla has also brought back $1,000 off. If you're a Cybertruck reservation holder, you can get an additional $1,000 off of a Model Y, a Model S, or a Model X. if you place an order now. So that has to be taken delivery by the end of the quarter, but everything but the Model 3 does qualify for this extra $1,000 off if you're a Cybertruck reservation holder. So add another $1,000 here, so $6,600 and $9,900, almost $10,000 if you were to take delivery of this particular one, and it's discounted price. Pretty incredible things going on right there. So we also now have full self-driving and unlimited supercharging coming back for this quarter only. And originally this was announced on Saturday or something. There was a lot of confusion, but the Model 3 also is included in both of these, whether that's full self-driving transfer and or unlimited free supercharging. So if you have a legacy Model S that has free supercharging for life, if you take delivery in the quarter for any new Tesla, except for Cybertruck, of course, you can transfer that unlimited supercharging to the new car. In addition, full self-driving is the same, and this sounds to be eligible for North America. So interesting to see that this is back, and if we look at inventory next, it'll start to paint a picture of why this might be happening. Now, this is just North American inventory, and when we look at it down here, it is technically down for the peaks that we've had recently at this time at the end of a quarter. However, we also don't have a ton of Model 3s because the Highland or refresh Model 3 just launched. So there's not a lot of inventory. There's a couple hundred cars in the entire country right now, and those are probably already spoken for at this point. So anyways, the big story here is the Model Y. The Model Y is at historically high inventory levels. And this generally is followed by a pretty big discount, a pretty big offer, something special to get you to take delivery of a Model Y. So right now we're seeing about $3,000 discount, but with these inventory levels being so high, what we're going to have to watch over the next week is how effective this new program is. The Model S and X are starting to go back up, but they're still pretty level, relatively speaking, since September when they seriously dropped prices in that quarter. So it's really a matter of, will full self-driving transfer and unlimited supercharging transfer be enough to bring this inventory level down significantly? So there's inventory growing on the Model Y, and that's because we have the Highland refresh Model 3 out, and people are starting to say, okay, when does that come to the Model Y? And it's very soon. Those updates will be happening to the Model Y. The work is well underway, but it was always talked about being about 6 months behind. And so we expect the second half of 2024 to be roughly the time frame of when we should see the refresh Model Y, also known as Project Juniper, to come to market. So these new updates like cooled seats, a screen in the back, updated interior materials, better suspension, new wheels, things like that, and a refresh exterior look minor. Those things are coming to the Model Y in Project Juniper, and that should be second half of 2024. So really it's a matter of, is it worth taking delivery now? This is something that a lot of people were facing this question just a month ago on the Model 3 as they stopped producing them, and there was a ton of inventory. Should I take a deal now for the existing Model 3 or should I wait a couple weeks? So right now we are in that same kind of awkward period with the Model Y, which if you're in the market for a Model Y is good news, because this means the best deals you're going to get on a Model Y are going to be available now and throughout the rest of this half of the year, basically. Once the refresh Model Y does officially launch, that is when we're going to see the end of whatever these deals are. So over the next week or two, we'll see if they're going to add additional deals or not, or if this is going to be a good enough band-aid fix for existing inventory throughout this quarter. So let me know in the comments, what are you thinking? I'm personally looking forward to the refresh Model Y because that is when I'm probably going to place my order to replace our 2021 Model Y when that refresh is available. So as you well know, this is the first of likely many price change videos coming in 2024 like it has been in the previous years. So I appreciate you stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.